What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Random Andrew here, the daily random vlog. I think we're up to like vlog number 408. That's a lot of vlogging every single day. But you know what? I enjoy it. I'm not stopping anytime soon. Anyways, because I'm at a loss for words all of a sudden, and I didn't mean to be, I'm sitting here about 9 o'clock at night having to re-record the intro because the awesome intro I made for you guys this morning, somehow the camera ended up facing the wrong way. Like, you know how you can switch on a phone which camera you're using, the back of the phone or the forward-facing phone, and well, only I could manage to pull something like that off. So yeah, I had like this 3-minute intro of me just going on and on and on talking about what was on my mind this morning. And rather than try and reproduce that intro, I'm just shooting you guys a new one. First thing I want to show you. Oh, what do you think of that? I like that design. That's nice. The gold on black. Thank you very much, Brandon. I shall wear it and reference people to the store. Next, this leaves me to somehow get a Railway City Vape shirt because I don't want to seem like I'm playing favorites. I enjoy both stores equally. They both have not the same selection, but they both have their own fine selections of e-juice. And if you haven't found the juice you're looking for, you're not trying hard enough. Come on. We got two great vape stores here. No reason you should still be smoking cigarettes. And this goes for many other cities. There's a lot of other towns that have vape shops popping up all over. The only thing I find a little bit bothersome when it comes to vaping is constantly having to inform people that the stuff that came out in the last few years from the media was to deter people away from vaping, which has been proving time and time again to be a healthy alternative and a much easier way to quit smoking than taking chemical-laden gum, patches, the stop smoking pill, which has got a higher suicide rate than some countries. Anyhow, enough about that. Putting some more thought to the axles, here's what's going to happen. All four corners, from differential to hub, MIP. And I'm thinking I'm going to go with the H&R Racing for the center shafts. And it has to be done because the weather's cooling now. Winter is coming. Winter is coming for all you Game of Thrones fans. And I have to have something that's not going to freeze and crack out there in this cold. I would, geez, if I had the money, I would do the leading edge manufacturing diffs. And I would go with the alloy casings, the alloy diff casings. And then the alloy bulkheads, just so that everything that can get sub-zero frozen isn't going to crack. But those bulkheads are fairly thick, so time will tell. But right now, Clifford's down until I get replacement axles, and I'm just not going to bother with stock for it to all happen again. We know Clifford's got torque, and we need to address it properly. So, I'm going to say on with the vlog. So the yoke would attach right here. See a hole there. And this pin, once straightened, will go through there, and there will be clips to go on either end. I'm out of those clips. I don't have any more of those clips. And if I try and run again, I'm going to lose those pins. Here's an example of those clips. Come on, focus. There we go. You can just see it kind of buried in there with a little bit of dirt and grease. How's this side? Not present. See what I mean? I put some of my larger black clips and tried to squeeze them down into place, and they obviously didn't stay. This could become a problem. But as I've been telling you guys about, I'm looking to put new axles in Clifford in the end of the month, so maybe that problem should be avoided. I just won't be able to drive Clifford until then. Megas, well, Megas isn't out, but I can't do the work I want to do until I get some shorter shocks. Yeah, of course, go ahead, follow there. Let's see, at the distance I have them lowered to right now, and those tires, it's okay. It's alright. But I want to eliminate the height of all of this. And I want to bring this to the top of the shocks. It's maybe that high. I'm estimating 60 or 70 millimeter shocks. Lower the front of these, smaller shocks in the front, keep my suspension tucked up nice, because that's how they usually sit on the Revo, right? Or Revo, ha! That's how they usually sit on a Wrestler. But I've shortened the shocks by about that much, so that it, can attempt to sit lower. And if I try and shorten them any more with the same method, there's just not going to be any travel whatsoever to the shocks, and I might as well just put a pin in place and make it rigid suspension in the front. Foam tires for the back. Hopefully, I'll get the rears to match these foams, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm done with these adapters. Look at this. They let the whole axle and everything because it doesn't want to tighten 100%. Like, you're not going to break no 100 km an hour, let alone 100 mile an hour with that kind of play in there. And if you watch the axle actually moves with that movement, so that's not good at all. Don't want to break anything. But Merv, the pink bastard, is ready to rip. So I'm thinking batteries will be charged for him today. Note, cool little RC Spark sticker. Decal, yeah. Needs a big one up front, but right now it's subtle, it's small, it just kind of sneaks its way in there. Hey, if you don't know RC Sparks, go check out his channel. It's an amazing RC channel. Every time there's a new video, I'm usually watching it within one of the first 100 views of the video, and they keep me glued. Today he just did an FPV video, little bits on his crawler course, and it was friggin' awesome. FPV on an RC, not one of these, he was on a crawler, but it was still pretty freaking cool. As you can tell, these tires still haven't shown up yet. I've actually received a refund from the eBay seller. This sucks. I needed those tires more than I needed a refund. But what can you do, right? For now, we'll just continue to burn those slash 4x4 tires off. And I know there's a set of Dynamite tires at AVF Hobby Shop up in London. I just don't know if I want to shell out $35 for that set, because the set that I ordered, they're pretty much identical tires, if not cooler, just to wear through them, you know what I mean? So as you guys know, I'm always about keeping Clifford pretty clean after those really muddy runs. Cleaned up last night, hosed down with some water dispersant agent. Because it's not WD-40, but that's just what we're going to call it for now. And how nice of the charger to actually go quiet for me while I do this. Perfect. Now, there's a little bit of dirt around here still. That's just a simple wipe away. A little bit into the spots like here, but that's, it doesn't need to be perfectly clean. It was mainly all the areas of moving parts. Notice the lack of axlery here. Yeah, that's part of my problem right now. Oh no! It turns out that one has been bent. That's probably how the pin was able to come out in a way. So I can't refocus. Can I? Yes I can. There you go. It's still usable, but I mean that's going to be a pretty weak point right there. Not impressed, not amused. Not much I can do about it though, other than order new axles for Clifford. Probably MIP. Until then, I think Clifford is down for the count. But I'll show you something. Notice what's missing from this picture. What makes it go? Where's the motor? Well, I'll show you. Sitting right here, awaiting its turn to be clean. Now it's fairly clean as it sits. A couple little spots on it. If you were to actually get right looking inside where the brushes and the commutator for those brushes are, everything's pretty good and clean, It's about how you want it to look. You don't want build up or anything. You notice how you can see that piece of copper right on the inside there as part of the brush. It's not discolored, which means it didn't heat up too quick when it was broke in. Hang on, I'm going to try and get you guys a focus. It's on a bit of a flexy mount here. There we go, that's much better. Okay, the commutator is that round piece. I might have the wrong part that I'm thinking of, but for lack of better, that piece of split copper that sits on the shaft that allows the electrification of the coils that are mounted to the shaft, which would in turn, and they energize, react to the magnets on the outside, and it turns the motor. I don't want to try and get more technical than that right now. I'll show you where the dirty part of the motor actually is. Right there. this is what I do to clean this, to keep that dirt from going inside. Okay, and whether it's worth it or not, I don't know. But it's a step that only takes a couple minutes. It doesn't hurt anybody for me to do this. So if you don't agree with this method, then just simply don't do it. But this is what I do. Okay, warning, vacuum sound. 100% better. Now any dirt that could have been brushed down inside or anything, and I do see a little bit of dirt sitting in here and right in here that I might go over again and suck that stuff out of there. And I got a closer look at it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Can you see it? Try and give you guys a quick refocus without shaking the camera too much. You see it sitting just on the inner edge there? Beyond that, it's pretty clean. So I'm going to quickly do that, and I'll show you guys in a second. Alright, so it is a fair bit cleaner in there now. And the trick is, don't push hard enough that you could actually shift anything that could be loose inside the motor. You just nice and delicately, especially when you're doing around the bearing, you just kind of wipe away. You don't actually push the dirt away. You just gently, so that the vacuum pressure will suck the dirt away without pushing it inside the bearing part. I just got to do this side here now, and then I'll set it up with Clifford to await new axles. Oh, that's so depressing, because they're still going to take like a week or two to show up after I order them. Like, yeah, depressing. What can you do though? Go drive a different RC. Alright, to address a question asked by one of my subscribers, how is it that I'm able to run 2 fans on Merv the Pink Busted? Well, to be honest, this fan is plugged in right here, and the other fan is plugged in down here. Now, it's really hard to show you guys what it's labeled as, but I'm going to do my best. Can you see that there? Let me see if I can't clean it up a little more. Give me a sec. Is that any better? It kind of gives you an idea of how it's hooked up. You can see which are the ESC and receiver are the middle two. Or sorry, the ESC and the steering are the middle two, and the other two are the fans. I don't seem to get any power cut from my steering though. I do know what you're saying. And the only solution I can think, and it must be because these fans, well, this one's a 7.2 volt, and I imagine that one's about the same. They're running each off of 5 volts from here. And why I'm not getting robbed power, I have no idea. To be quite honest, I don't know. But if you want to get around it, you can always add a BEC to run your steering servo. That'll add and make sure it's got the extra power to do so. And if you look it up, BEC for steering servo, there's a buttload of information on the interwebs that will explain it out to you. Your other option would be to run either one or both of your fans off of a 2S battery. This here is a 2S battery. It was an old helicopter battery. It had two 18650s, which are lithium-ion batteries, but those batteries were no good. They would not hold a charge any longer. So I took it apart, took them out, and just rewired it with new ones. I'm now on the search to find more 2S and 3S plugs so I can make my own extra 2S and 3S cells for running fans. And then you could even mount it right here. Keep in mind your steering or your suspension moves, it's going to move the battery back here, but I don't recommend that because that's going to put a lot of weight on that back end, which isn't so bad for all-wheel drive. And it's just, with the Mini Revo, there's not a whole heck of a lot of places to run an extra battery, but do keep in mind, if you're only running one battery at a time, you do have a whole tray here that's open and available for space. So that's another option. I'm not sure if this will help you out at all, bud, but that's how mine's set up. I'm hoping the batteries charge in time. I'm going to get down at least to the home hardware spot. Not going to make it to the polished concrete area tonight, but I want to get this thing a little bit sideways tonight. Alright, I made the same mistake again. I've got about a half battery on this camera because I didn't charge it, but I've got Merv all set up here and ready to go. Just did a couple little test strips, and we're going to see if we can't get some nice looking drifts on camera. Oh wow, I got 1 bar of battery left. I probably look just ridiculous wearing this to all these drivers passing by, but it's because they don't know how hard it really is to record RC stuff and drive at the same time. I'll give you guys a quick idea of the power we're going with here. Whoa, on the brakes! That's pouring a lot of amperage and a lot of heat down at once. So we'll give her a little rest for a quick minute. I do have another battery for it. I see too much power and you'd have a lot of problems keeping it in a good drift. Woo! I hope that half of this is in frame, because I'm actually getting some nice little drifts happening in there. And the thing is, that body gives you so much downforce that once you're going a certain speed, it rather pushes it into the ground and you grip. Now that's good if you're actually racing. Oh my goodness, look at that. And there you have it, guys. A good little rip session with Merv. But it doesn't end here, because I'm going to keep on driving it. I got another battery to kill. But this camera's about to die. So I'm going to try and save a little bit of juice for what comes next. Well, I got about 2 more laps, 3 more laps in, and things overheated. I can actually feel the warmth coming off of them. And because it is overheated, it's gone back into that mode, which kind of sucks. That means I'm just going to have to down gear it. It's obviously generating too much heat with the current gearing. So yeah, I don't have that stuff here to do that right now. I'm going to let this cool down though. Oh wow, it just shut right off on its own. Yeah. Alright, well, I guess we can give that a break. Oops. We'll give that a break. I have something else in the bag we can go have some fun with. one of these times you'd think I would learn to charge stuff before I go out recording. I had a problem with this before I got into RCs, and now I still have a problem with this. Not a big deal though. I got a little bit of footage. Could have been a little bit better. That is a really cool little spot for the mini rock crawler. The rocks are just large enough to really give it a challenge. I have a harder time actually getting through that than I do our crawler course over there, believe it or not. And speaking of the crawler course, I think there's additions that need to be made. Since we've been getting more scale crawling trucks in the group, that course became way too easy for the summit. When I snap axles and stuff, it's because I'm not on the course. I'm up climbing a hill or something that's actually putting the summit to the test. So I think there needs to be some tougher areas added into the course, or maybe an extension onto the course with a really tough spot for the summits. I mean, I did get the truck because it's a do-anything truck, a go-anywhere truck, but I like to challenge that truck. And I don't just want to downgrade the size of truck I have to make things more complicated. I have an 18th scale for that. So I'm concentrating on the summit. We're going into winter. I want my truck that is going to make it through stuff in the winter, fully functional for winter. Now, I've never really seen scale trucks in the winter. I'm not sure how good they're going to be in the winter, but I'm sure a certain amount of track prep, and they'll have no problem either. But like I said before, winter is coming and we shall find out soon. On that note, I want to thank you guys for watching. You guys are so supportive. I appreciate it immensely. Words do not exist to describe how I felt when I looked and I seen the subscriber list hit 220. Some other YouTuber channels you might watch, 220's splash in the pan. But you know what? I've got some unique subscribers. You guys tend to watch more full length of the videos. Some of you guys will actually watch right to the end and say, hey, I watched the full thing. On that, watching the full thing, hashtag random shout out. Get on that, people. I want to add this into it. I want to start getting other people into your guys' channels as well, because I know there's other creators out there. So please, random shout out. Get that hashtag in there. Think positive, stay positive, keep a smile on your face, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Vlog over? Yeah, vlog over.